So, my first question is can you tell me how did this whole idea of coming up with backing a story like Forensic start? वो शुरू से लेके थोड़ा end तक पूरा process थोड़ा सा बताइए.
Okay, so it was back in the COVID times, it was 2020, and we were evaluating a lot of scripts, and suddenly there was a thought to why not look at scripts even in India, right? Because COVID, we all had time, and me and Mansi, we started watching international cinema, Korean cinema, Spanish, and everything else, and let us also watch Indian cinema. And then that's how we got across the content for Malayalam films, and we realized that the content is amazing. And there were 3 films that time that actually came to us, which had an opportunity to be remade. So one was Ayappam Kosham, then there was Anjam Patirao, Driving License, and Forensic. So these are the 4 subjects which came to us, and but then Forensic happened to just click in the first watch. We watched it. I still remember it was around 1:30 in the morning. Me and Mansi, we were watching it, and when the film just came to an interval point, Mansi was like, "Yes, this is the one that we should make," and that's how the entire journey of Forensic started. Right now, what has happened? People are so much exposed to international content. You cannot just give them a story which doesn't make sense, right? So what new are we bringing into the table? That was the question. And with Forensic, I found that, right? It's a crime thriller. People love crime thrillers, correct? But it needs to have the uniqueness, the USP. So this film had that USP, which excited us to do it. But I think it was her conviction. She foresighted this. She was, from day one, she always told me, no, this is a big film. And that time we had nobody. We had no director, no actor. Vikrant was not on board, nobody, So it was just purely us relying on her gut that yes, this film is something which is going to do well, and this is something which we can recreate in Hindi. And that's how the journey of Forensic started,
What is it about Forensic that is so compelling for you to put your money on?
See, I feel Forensic as a subject in itself is not very well marketed, right, in the cinematic space, correct? When you talk about a forensic officer, a lot of people would not know about it, they might just connect it with a CID which they've watched for 15 years, on television, but what actually the forensic science does, people don't know about it. People know the terminology, but the depth and the importance of forensic science in solving any crime case, is something which is exceptional, right? And this also we realized during our process, right? So once we had the film, though it was a remake, it is not a frame-to-frame remake, right? It's a completely new film, and we did a lot of research before starting the film, right? So one thing that we had in mind, that we wanted the realism to be a part of the film, right? We do not want to take a cinema liberty and just create everything fictional, but we wanted to get that realism into the film. So we had got real forensic officers on board with us from day one. They were part of the script consultancy process. We in fact even got them for the shooting. We had some training sessions done with Vikrant as well, in terms of the body languages of forensic officers. How do they hold the equipment? How do they go to the crime scene, and what do they look for? So all these real life incidences and practical knowledge which was there with the officers, we incorporated that in the film. And also, see, we come from a generation wherein we ourselves want to see sensible cinema, correct? I've watched so many shows outside, and I've lived abroad as well. I know the friends that I have, the people that I have, they all want to watch sensible stuff, right? Yes, there is a cinema liberty which everybody expects, but they want sensibility. They do not want something which is just doesn't make sense, right? So to get that thing done, and to get the right audience, the youth, to accept the film, you need to ensure that those things are taken care of. And for us, it is very important that whatever we make, we are making something respectable. We want people to watch it, and we want people to at least acknowledge that yes, you've done a good job and we really enjoyed your film.
So tell me a little bit about the whole casting and the putting this crew together. how did Vishal come on board, and
Yeah.
how did the whole cast sort of
I think all that is, as I told you, Mansi is a creative brainchild. It's all her effort, and I feel her conviction, and I think the clarity that she holds, right? Like she knows that okay, I want this person. She has a particular thought process which she works upon, be it the director, be it having Vikrant on board. Like for Vikrant, she was very clear since day one. Okay, I want Vikrant. So till the time Vikrant was touched base with, he was spoken to, he was thinking about it, till the time he wouldn't have said a yes or a no, she wouldn't have moved on to another person, right? But I'm glad that, she thought about him and it happened. Vikrant also supported, he also came on board, he loved the subject. I feel it is all about the drive a person, see, producers are also leaders and drivers for the project. They start the project, they need to have a lot of conviction in them, because that conviction would eventually then percolate down, right? And I feel the journey of getting all these talented actors and the directors on board, was a great process. I believe we had a really professional cast and crew. Our team was fantastic. Vishal was completely well planned, and Vikrant and Radhika and Prachi also are great professional people. I don't think so we've had any complaints as such from them. From the shooting point of view, people say कि okay, actors late आते हैं, ये आते हैं. I don't think so we faced anything like that. They were there on time. We finished our entire shooting in the pre-decided schedule that we had, and in one go, and I think which was great, and they definitely are like fantastic performers. So people are really appreciating their performance in this.
True, you chose Mussoorie as your place where the whole film is shot. You went there and you shot it.
Yeah.
So what was the thought process behind going there, shooting it there? What was that?
You see, in terms of the selection for Mussoorie, how it started was see, a lot of input comes in from the directors, right? If you see the story also, if the story is something which is based out of a small town, right? So in a city like Bombay, it's quite vast, right? Bombay, Delhi are quite vast cities. If a crime is happening in one area, people would not know even in the second area, right? So you needed a small town wherein if one crime is happening, it becomes a big deal in the town, everything is shutting down, people are panicking. So that kind of an atmosphere would have been possible in a small town. And yes, why we chose Mussoorie, I think Vishal was looking for something which is a little bit hilly. He wanted something which had that elevation and would not be very flat in terms of the shoots and the camera angles which he would want to use. I still remember we went to Mussoorie for the first recce during the peak COVID time. It was only me, Vishal, and one of his ADs. He's like, but let's go there. Let us make use of the time. And we went there. Fortunately, because the town was shut, it was all empty. And we did not have any issues. We saw all the locations and we found it to be perfect.
And can you tell me some of the audience reaction or that you got now?
Oh yeah, and in fact I was waiting for the audience audio, reviews. Though we had seen the film, of course we liked the film, and but it's always like what the audience feels, right? You're waiting. So the minute the film was released and we started getting great reviews, there were friends who called me. They were like, I was thinking to call you once the film got over in 2 hours time, but I'm just 17 minutes through the film and I thought I'll call you now that it's a fantastic film, There were a lot of them who said ki we are waiting for Goa now. They're waiting for part 2. Everybody is like excited. They're like, when are you releasing the part 2, Some people loved the climax. Some people loved the title as well. So like people were like, we watched it like, because the title was amazing, and then we started watching. Everybody told me that it's a gripping film. They loved it in like 2 hours. They couldn't just get off it, And everybody appreciated all the actors. They've done a fantastic job. I've got a lot of calls from the forensic side of the team that you've in concept got so many things included in this, which we are studying, which we see, like DNA matching, fingerprint analysis, crime scene placement of things, 3D scanning, phenotyping, faro machines, like whatnot. So even that segment of people were like quite happy about this entire thing. So I think yes, I think that's what matters, right? Eventually, if you're seeing a vast section of people enjoying and loving your film, that's what it is.
What is your vision behind mini films, and what are you looking forward to in future? What kind of films are you looking to sort of back?
I think it's all about creating the right content. I feel you should make films which are respectable, which people will like it eventually. We all strive to do that, and definitely we have good plans. There are a lot of projects with Mansey is planning, and also making films is not easy, right? It's a very difficult task. So yes, there is many projects which are coming, which is going to be publicly announced, and some which are already publicly announced with time to come, and we'll keep sharing more information on them. And yes, there are good plans, so I hope people enjoy each and every film of ours, and because we'll be putting in the sincere effort into making it, and we hope to have a good run in time to come.